All right, here we go. So we're gonna do Tuesday's work, and we're trying to compare the two. We know when we're comparing numbers, we line up our place value. So we line up our ones with our ones and so forth. We go to our biggest place value and we look to see if there's any discrepancies, if there's any differences amongst them. And I definitely see here in the 10,000s place that 1 is bigger than 0. I don't even have to look at any other numbers because I know 10,000 is bigger than 0,000. So I can say that this number is bigger. Let's go ahead to the next one. It's finding the difference. So I have 805,256, and we're going to subtract 667, 136, and we're going to subtract them. Remember, we're starting over here in our ones place, and we subtract. If you want to pause the video and check back or follow through as I walk you through my steps. Here we go. 6 minus 6 is 0. 5 minus 3, 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 5 minus 7 I can't do, so I have to go to my 10,000s place, but I have nothing there. So I go to my 100,000s, and that's me borrowing. So now I can actually borrow from the 10,000s place. So 15 minus 7 is 8. 9 minus 6 is 3. 7 minus 6 is 1. What I'd like you to do is pause the video for a moment and go ahead and double check that work. Remember, you could double check by using an inverse operation. All right, guys, so what I did was I did my inverse operation. So I added these up and I did get the same number. Therefore, I know my answer is correct with 138,120. Beautiful. Our next one, how many lines of symmetry are in a circle? This one always reminds me of Michael because as long as you're going through that midpoint or the center, we can't even count them, ladies and gentlemen. There's so many. There's an infinite amount. We can't even count them. Too many to count. All right, our next one. If a total of 762 students at a citywide competition are divided into 6 equal sized teams, how many students are on each team? So, what I love about this multiplication question is if you're someone that's not great at dividing, you could turn these into 4 multiplication problems. You could do 110 times 6, and if it was correct, it would equal 762. Granted, you'd have to do 4 problems, but if you're not confident with division, then do that inverse operation. I'm going to tackle the division problem. So first, what I need to do is I need to list my steps. And I need to list my first 10 multiples. I'm going to go ahead and list my multiples. Pause your video and list yours. Awesome. So you can go ahead and check if you need to pause the video and just check your 10 multiples with my 10 multiples, because if you make a mistake here, it may affect the entire problem. Here we go. Let's dive in, guys. So I'm looking for the number, can 6 go into 7? So we're looking for the number 7 over here. I definitely don't see it. But the next closest without going over is 6. So I know 6 can go into 7 one time. And then I multiply. 1 times 6 is 6. And then I can subtract these two and I get a difference of 1. Before I bring down, I've got to look over here for the number 1. Can 6 people fit into 1 chair? No way, Jose. So I get to bring down. Now I'm looking for the number 16. I see 12 and I see 18, but we know 18 is too much, so we're going to do 12, which is 1 2 times, and that's me dividing. Now I can multiply. 2 times 6, you just told me, was 12. Then we subtract, and we're left with 4. Okay, so again, before we bring down, we try to divide. Do I see the number 4? No. So I get to bring down that 2. I'm looking for the number 42. Ooh, I see it. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 6, well, we just said it, was 42. Now we subtract. Can 6 people fit into 0 chairs? No. Do I have anything left to bring down? No. So I'm saying my quotient is that there's 127 students on a team. Let's see if that's an answer over here. Ooh, it is. And just to be safe, what I want you to do is the inverse operation to double check that work. Go ahead, pause your video and double check. All right, guys, I double checked mine and I was correct. 762, 762. Therefore, I know my answer of 127 is correct. Moving on, our next one is find the quotient. So we got a little bit bigger number here. We're gonna follow the same steps. So we have 3,465. We're gonna divide it by 3. List our steps, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat as needed. And then off to the side, if you can list your first 10 multiples of the number 3. Go ahead and then check back. Awesome, guys. So now we can go ahead and divide. So 3 people into 3 chairs, absolutely, 1 time. Now I multiply. 1 times 3 is 3. How about I stop talking and I'll let you guys pause your video and solve this, and then you can check back to double check your work. All right, guys. Hopefully you got a quotient of 1,155, and then when you, double checked your work using that inverse operation, you saw that you were accurate. So we're going to move on to finding the product. Definitely you choose the strategy that works for you. It is 49 times 21. So you could do the standard algorithm. You can do the area model. Do what works best for you and what you feel comfortable with. I'm going to do them both if you want to pause the video and check back with me. All right, guys. So down here, I did the standard algorithm. And then I did the area model. I kind of ran out of room here as I was adding, but sorry, that's a bad plus sign. But I did get a product of 1,029. This sheet was all about division, I feel like. We've got another division problem already. So what I want you to do is I want you to set it up, list your steps, and list those first 10 multiples, and then check back with me. All right, guys, so let me zoom out a little bit here. What I did was I went through and I divided it all, and then I double checked my work using that inverse operation. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our very last one, which is list the first 5 multiples of the number 6. The first 5 multiples of the number 6. So we know that we know for multiples that it's kind of like skip counting. So we want 5 of them for the number 6. So 6 is our first one, and we're just going to skip count by 6s. 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. So we have 5 of them, and it's for 6. But I need to be honest, when I read this, I have to read it multiple times to decipher what are they talking about. 5 and 6 and multiples. Am I listing them for 6? Am I listing them for 5? So make sure you reread that, and don't be afraid to take your time to make sure that it makes sense. All right, guys. I look forward to talking to you later. Have a great day. Miss you all.